Oh, man. Very interesting. Welcome to this new thing that I'm doing. Progressive Patriot shouldn't mind. He's done about 15 videos on this channel, so I should be allowed to get one out, right? A little one and done. Just to plug, the new show, stuff like that, yada, yada, yada. Hello to you. Hello to everybody out there. What's going on? CanCon, what's up? Brandy, what's up? Sexy Ducks, all you lovely people. Welcome to, I don't know. You know what? I really don't know. But you're here. You're here. I'm here. There could be, there could be a few things that we would cover tonight normally. Maybe with Eli here in the building, but he has his own thing going on, and that's fine. I love that. I love that about him. There is, spilling shit over. There is very interesting news out there. Things that we could be yammering on about, but we're not, such as, let me get that pulled up. Such as, and I'm giving an introduction or a preface of what we could be talking about, and I'm going to lead into then what we are going to be talking about. So a lot of interesting news going on. What we could be talking about is one of the things is what the officers didn't do, and I'm trying to stall while I'm pausing something. Boom, gone. Hang on 1 second. Give me a second. Always some internet troubles afoot, but here we go. Anyways, what we could be talking about is right down yonder. Kind of disgusting, if you ask me.
Money in the bank. So why and how is being looked at right now. And I'll tell you this, thousands of more leads are being looked at right now because we haven't answered all the questions. We haven't gotten into the why. Okay, we know the individual was also into cyber gaming in that regard, and group gaming in that regard. So we got a lot of questions are out there, and we're seeking answers. But we've got an obligation. We'll continue to update you when we find something out. Hey, the woman in the yes. Had money in the bank. So why and how is being looked at right now. And I'll tell you this, thousands of more leads are being looked at right now because we haven't answered all the questions. We haven't gotten.
Hang on. Technical difficulty. First time show. I'm sorry. You guys are catching me in the moment here. But he admits right here. This is the one. Jesus, come on, Josh, get with the picture, man.
There was 19. Like I said, there was 19 officers in there. In fact, there was plenty of officers to do whatever needed to be done. With one exception, is that the incident commander inside believed they needed more equipment and more officers to do a tactical breach at that point. That's why BORTAC was requested on the scene. As soon as they were there, they executed, they searched, or at least a dynamic.
Here comes the cluster.
It went in, and of course, that was not till 12. That was not till 12:57. With the benefit of hindsight.
What's up, everybody?
Stand by. Stand by. Right. I got it. Okay. Hey, from the benefit of hindsight, where I'm sitting now, of course it was not the right decision. It was the wrong decision. Period.
He did it. He said it.
No excuse for that. But again, I wasn't there, but I'm just telling you, from what we know, we believe there should have been an entry at that as soon as you can. Hey, when there's an active shooter, the rules change. It's no longer, okay, it's no longer a barricaded subject. We don't have time. You don't worry about outer perimeters. And by the way, Texas embraces active shooter training, active shooter certification.
He literally says, you know what? We were wrong. We were totally wrong. This and more could have been on the docket tonight, maybe even with Stuck at Night. But you know, we're here doing something again, and I'm kind of figuring out that this thing we do almost once a year with myself and my lovely co-host, if you will. In fact, we do it so much once a year. I have footage from the previous time this has happened. But let's just get into it. Let's break into it and let's have a little fun with this, because apparently some fun was had with it last night around the 3 p.m. So here is Eli.
From the topic at hand. So rewatching the part where I think that was the only time.
We're going to go back a little bit. So Progressive Patriot does his own channel. And if you notice the name of the video, call out to Josh of Stuck in the Middle. Now, mind you, I'm all clusterfucked because I'm like, I have like a little order to how to kind of jog in and out of this and go back and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get in my bearings, but once we get going, I promise you everything will at least be okay. You know, now I see both sides, because if you watched, possibly his show, you got maybe some wrong ideas of not just me, but of the show and kind of what we have set out to do. So I will let Eli further explain what the issue is. Again, this is a call out to me, Josh of Stuck in the Middle.
And we had to fight YouTube and dispute the strike and the grounds of which they utilized, which was graphic violence, to take us down. I'm rewatching just a bit of it. Obviously, there was very sensitive content and topics utilized. So one thing that just I have to make clear to my dearest brother, partner, bestie, Josh, regarding, I suppose, any issues that you and I, or he and I, but yeah, as if he was here, you and I may have, if you can remember as far back as, just a couple days ago.
So here's what we will do. Instead of trying to remember what happened a few days ago, let's go ahead and play what happened a few days ago. This was during Stuck at Night 91, the same episode, mind you, that YouTube said, you know what, I'm done with yous. Get out of here. They gave us a strike. They kicked the video off. I went back and found a way of words to where explained to YouTube that it isn't what they were trying to accuse it was, and it ended up being the case. And my assumption is Eli then went home and watched the episode after Tuesday, because after Thursday, because this is what happened on Tuesday. So he goes home and watches it on Thursday and has like a reawakening of sorts, because he then recorded this video at 3 a.m. In the morning. So before we finish Eli's video, I'd like to then journey you back in time. Like, where's the harp effect when I need one? Come with me. Come with me if you want to live. Let's go back in time to Stuck at Night 91, in which this incident Sir Eli is speaking on. Yes, and we did have to give it an 18 or older rating. No problem. Let's see here. We're at the right point, and we're gonna start this. And can I just inception you all just real quick and just blow your fucking minds? It's probably gonna hurt, but if you were listening in the beginning, I brought up that we almost went down this road once. Well, not almost. We've went down this road once before, and this is gonna sound verbatim of what's going to happen tonight. Check this out. Here's just a little clip. Too busy in my head. Oh man, what the fuck? So this is me breaking down another Progressive Patriot video. No lie, it happened on a Tuesday. No lie, it was like stuck 89. This one was stuck 91. I know, a bunch of stuck in the middle context, but just listen to what I'm going to say just so I can preface this all, because it's kind of funny, because I do say what I'm going to say. It's like Inception. Fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? I don't know. Good call. For those of you who are aware, on Tuesday, there was a show, and then there was a post show. And man, this is my one and only time doing this. I feel so bad. It's not, because here I am the second time. Influx of new viewers. Okay? We did, too. And here I am, and here the other guy is choosing to do shit like this. And rather than shit like this being put to the main show as like a little what for, now it's two separate fucking shows. Okay? Not cool. So for those of which now it's literally two separate shows, because last time I did this on Stuck Show. Now this is the premiere of the IDK show. Still, we're still doing Stuck in the Middle, so we're gonna have a really good time on Monday. So don't you worry about that. So let's go back to the future and watch what Eli is about to tell us was wrong with that episode, or what's wrong with me during that episode. And the only reason why I'm doing this, like, I really want to be just like playing games right now, like just doing nothing on the couch. But he made his own video with legit, like, oh, call out to Josh. So I just feel, as opposed to it being buried in the episode on Monday, I do feel like, you know, this will be better lived on its own, as was Eli's video. And again, he's done about 15 videos of the Progressive Patriot on the Stuck channel, so why not introduce my channel on this show? You can get the link in the description. But besides the point, we were playing a pastor video where this pastor was stepping down from his position, and he didn't really tell the full story. And then a young lady gets up on the stage and says, yeah, that adultery you committed was on me when I was 16, you sick bastard. And so let's see where Eli gets the, what's going on. Round of applesauce. See, he's walking away. Yeah. I look the same. And then they come up over here off the left. There they are, okay.
If you love us, please let us talk.
If you love us, please let us talk. So what's about to happen here is, I don't remember my current state of mind, but we had spoken on this video earlier before the show went on, and it's not that it wasn't interesting me. It was just like it's such a hard video to hear, to listen to. You really have to give it some time to play out, which, you know, we eventually do. But, you know, in the moment, I'm like, I start to do, you know, a Josh thing. I get bored. I get my ADD, and I'm like, yeah, fuck this shit. You know, it's not that I'm being disrespectful, even though Stuck at Night / Stuck in the Middle is a goddamn irreverent show, meaning we have an irreverent take on things, which I don't know if you know, but irreverent means disrespectful. So maybe Eli forgot about that. I'm not sure, but let's watch the madness unfold. And then what we're going to do is jog back to Eli's call out to me, so you all out there have a better understanding of what he's talking about. If you love us, please let us talk.
For 27 years, I lived in a prison. It was not 20 years.
27 years.
I lived in a prison of lies and shame. Lying to protect the Lowe family. For years, I thought I was a horrible person having suicidal
I'm sorry. This is very important. He omitted another important detail. He had made it sound like he only committed adultery once. She's going to break that right now.
Is the other person that it was committed to, did they murder themselves or kill themselves? It's like the same.
I'm unaware of any actions like that. But she does explain how
watching this back, like, I do totally, as Eli will point out, I do seem totally bored. I do seem totally uninterested.
Go for it.
Not realizing what had been truly done to me, that I was a victim.
See him smoking.
And I was still in a prison prison if my brother, and many of you know him,
I don't
Edgar
care.
Wolf, had not approached me just 2 weeks ago with what he had seen as a teenager that bothered him all these years.
And you could see Eli, he's feeling it. Like this thing is already getting to him, which I totally understand. When we have like a religious conversation on the show from time to time, I'm not defending religion, but I can more easily play devil's advocate with religion, as a few previous episodes we've kind of gone over, where my opinion, Eli does, and maybe rightfully so, he gets worked up with when we talk about religion and you know, all the atrocities they pull and stuff like that. So when he sees somebody in the religious atmosphere fucking up, he's like, phew, he like hawk focuses on it. You know, he hyper focuses on it. So
his pastor in bed with his younger sister, a t-shirt and underwear on. People knew but were too afraid to come forward, and they have now. The lies and the manipulation have to stop.
like you can see Eli's face of disgust while you see my face of like, I was just coughing up marijuana smoke. I forget. Like I saw the video beforehand, but listen, I'm not trying to deny her ability to speak, but it's just like, you know, on this show, we already have this certain vibe, and like, I come into that show with that vibe of making sure that kind of sticks, and like this was just rubbing me the wrong way. Whether it's right or wrong, I'm just giving you my side in the moment.
I was a prisoner and you kept me in your prison. I'm a prisoner no longer. I was just 16 when you took my virginity on your own.
Everybody just sat down like, it's gonna be a minute. Let me get comfortable here. And that guy in the top right-hand screen, he's right. Like everyone stand up and gave the pastor a nice round of applause, and then like she was like, you know, she was going on for a minute or two, which, you know, she's allowed to do. But they were like, oh boy, all right, let's go ahead and sit down for this one. Yo, can you bring some communion around here? I'm kind of getting hungry. Oh yeah, here's okay.
Do you remember that? I know you do, and I have plenty of other stories that I could bring to your remembrance.
On his office floor.
You got me all hopped up on the blood of Christ. You got me all bloated on the body of Christ. Then you tried to give me some Christ. I'm sorry about that. That's just...
You did things to my teenage body that had never and should
Bad jokes
have never
aside.
been done. If you can't admit the truth, you have to answer to God. You are not the victim here.
I mean, Eli is in this.
I tried to tell
He's in this, and I'm just not. I'm not in it.
Was cover up.
And like here, like,
No
look
one
at
ever
that.
came to-
Watch you make all these faces, because like, and you probably see it now, and like I'm only realizing now, like when I look at chat, I'm like squinting and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I can't see anything. So you make me like you guys probably see me make all these faces all the time. They're just because I'm blind. That's all. I have a disability. You can't make fun of it.
To me, no one ever helped me. No one ever got me counseling. I have wanted to talk to somebody all of these years and never. You have somebody that you talk to.
Okay.
I never have.
I just looked over, like all of a sudden, I looked over and my mind has started a going. It was just like, you know what? Maybe I can turn to the soundboard now.
You did things to my teenage body that had never and should have never been done.
Oh shit! I think I went a little too far. Hang on.
Very important. He omitted.
Shit.
As a teenager that bothered
Shit.
him all these years.
Here we go.
His pastor.
Oh, no.
In bed with his younger sister.
Don't do the joke again.
A t-shirt and underwear on. People knew but were too afraid to come forward, and they have now. The lies and the manipulation have to stop. I was a prisoner and you kept me in your prison. I'm a prisoner no longer. I was just 16 when you took my virginity on your own.
Everybody just sat down like, okay, sorry, hang on. Let me get comfortable here. I can't see. I'm blind. Yo, can you bring some communion around here? I'm kind of getting hungry.
Office floor. Do you remember that? I know you do, and I have plenty of other stories that I could bring to your remembrance.
On his office floor.
You got me all hopped up on the blood of Christ. Oh, the joke again. God damn it. Shut up. Then you tried to... Just stop talking. Give me some Christ. Don't. Jesus Christ. I did it.
You did things to my teenage body that had never and should have never been done. If you can't admit the truth, you have to answer to God. You are not the victim here.
Okay. My mind's running.
I tried to tell someone, but all that was done was cover up.
I'm squinting, and I start to get the hint.
No one ever helped me. No one ever got me counseling. I have wanted to talk to somebody all of these years and never. You have. You have somebody that you talk to. I never have. The church deserves to know the truth. This church has been built on lies, but no more. The lies need to stop. I could give story after story after story to what you.
So, I don't know if you heard, but already Eli's balls deep in it, and I dropped 2 Simpsons soundboard drops. Boring. And at first he's laughing it off. He's like, okay, ha 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 ha.
Please.
Oh,
Michael,
stop it.
Your dad is not the victim here. A partial truth is not true.
She had to
Do not
explain
come.
to the son.
I don't know if you heard it, but I dropped the Kamala Harris reference. Do not come. Do not come. She's got to slow
If
down.
I would have gotten counseling, your
come.
dad would be in prison. It might not be the way, but every time you covered up for Russ Spangle, my best friend was my age when your associate pastor was molesting his 2 daughters. And you know that. You sent him to be a pastor at another church. We can call Melanie right now, and Cassie, her sister. They sat down with you. You sent Melanie away. Don't look at me like that. You know the truth.
Look at, okay, so I took myself off the screen. Look at Eli's gaze on me. He's just looking at me because I can't stop, I guess, disrespecting his video.
I know, but you can tell the truth because this is a lie.
I'm letting you go.
But you need to tell the truth.
Thank
You
you.
know better than it was.
Listen.
You know
My
I
wife
shouldn't
is
say it.
not
I'm gonna
just
say
a
something I
daughter,
don't-
it's an
I
adult
probably shouldn't
woman,
say.
teenager. And I will not let this man talk about my wife like that. It happened for 9 years.
Please let this man
When she was 15, 16, the sexual abuse started. And it lasted until she met me and we started dating. This is the truth. And that's all we're gonna say, except just that's
You
it.
have numbers, you can talk to my brother.
That's fine. This necklace was Bobby's. It was given to her by Jello II and possibly other people in the office. They might have received necklaces too as like a ministry gift. I'm not trying to stretch the truth here, but it was in our house and I'm giving it back.
The next
This
one.
was Bobby's covenant of purity ring,
Purity
which
ring.
she wore while this man had sex with her, and she felt ashamed all these years.
Given to her
Wearing
by this
covenant of
fucking
purity ring.
church.
What the fuck was he talking about?
Did it again. Did it again. Eli didn't like that.
We are working through love and forgiveness. We're working through it. But people have to be held accountable, and they can't just bamboozle people and just say, well, I just committed adultery. It was far beyond adultery. So here's the covenant purity ring back. I don't want it in my home.
Please, Josh, please
We're done.
stop.
There you go. There, it's coming. We're getting there.
Please.
I will not. Where did the fucking
So
thing
what?
go?
At some point when you're doing a soundboard,
Yeah, fuck
hit
that.
something. Now this,
dare you
what
tell me to
this,
stop,
What
though?
this man
That makes it even worse. You know
tries
that.
to do. I know. I'm trying to be as respectful as possible.
I'm sorry. It's pretty rough, you know, to hear. So that's the only way I can deal with it. So my bad. Sorry to offend you.
What this?
You know what they say about people getting offended, right? He was like, I'm trying to be respectful as possible on a show that is, our goal is to be irreverent. So that's the clip. This is what we can go into now. Hang on, let me see.
Are we gonna have a tiff right now?
I don't know. You just got a little hot under the collar over some, soundboards over some serious
to be
thing.
heard, and you just kept hitting the fucking.
Well, we're not like, we're not breaking news here. That's
No,
what we
not at
do.
all.
We're irreverent over. We be silly sometimes.
I know what we are. Yes.
Yes, we did.
You didn't tell them she was 14 years old.
So apparently, that got Eli pretty worked up. Yeah, he had forgot about it because of, I guess the video was banned for a day or so. So when it came back, he got to watch it again. And as we began the show with, and again, this is a little clusterfucked, but I'm trying to find the best way to present this all. And maybe this wasn't the right way. But let's get back to now Eli's video of him explaining why he was upset with me this night, you know, calling me out. Let's see. I'll go back just a little bit.
Fight YouTube and dispute the strike and the grounds of which they utilized, which was graphic violence to take us down. Boring. A bit of it. Obviously, there was very sensitive content. Be more funny. And topics utilized. So one thing that just I have to make clear to my dearest brother, partner, bestie, Josh, regarding
do not come
any issues that you and I, or he and I, but yeah, as if he was here, you and I may have.
Hey, look at us.
If you can remember as far back as, you know, just a couple days ago when.
So he's going to get into that video, which you and everybody else just watched.
We were presenting the video about the pastor and the woman
Get
that
out of
was
here, you
taken
bitch!
Advantage of. And while it's our lovely buddy cop, hilarious dynamic,
shit is getting real.
Hit the soundboard,
shit is real.
Whatever the case. Bear in mind, while I accept, I do interrupt by reading the chat, or
I'm a strong, independent woman.
Super chat because somebody's donated.
You see, okay, so one of my bullet points I had on this was he made a reference to that I get upset, or it kind of alluded to, it sounds like I don't want him reading super chats and/or chats. Nope, nothing of that nature. We had a discussion long ago and many a time that sometimes he would just kind of interrupt people's points with a chat, and we're like, well, just now when you do it, make sure it's kind of on topic. So he still does it, which is fine, and you need to do it with the super chat, but he does, throw that in sometimes nonetheless, which is fine, because that's what we do. But
those are usually the only things that necessitate my interrupting or deviating from the topic at hand. So rewatching the part where I think that was the only topic
I'm a strong, independent woman.
Sent to the forefront, your obvious, maybe you were.
What the fuck was he talking about?
Time where I felt it was most important for the subject and the content and the topic to be heard, discussed, taken in. The audience, as I rewatched, they were very invested, and you continued to hit the soundboard. I asked, as far as I can see,
okay,
as respectfully as one could, that you cease doing so. I hope it did translate as
blah blah blah
audience.
Blah blah blah.
Me, and while I know
blah blah
your
blah
biggest pet peeve, and same with me, 90%
blah
compared
blah
to
blah
100%. When someone asks me to stop, doing something, depending on the sincerity or how it is requested, it will be respected. I did as I watched, and as I recall.
Whoever told you that you could work with men?
Respect that you please, I can use the term please, let her
What the
speak.
hell is even that?
You continued, especially after I made the request, to say, "Oh, now I have to." So here's my issue, man. For 3 years, despite my reading comments from the chat to remain interactive, or reading super chat users because they are donating,
You dumb motherfucker!
very seldom, within a sliver of a percentage, ever interrupt your points. Yes, we learn the art of talking together and over each other, or whatever the case.
You fucking child.
Turns, but yes, my friend.
What the fuck was he talking about?
Disrespectful how you chose to deal with it. So then, if I cannot communicate...
Okay, so that's the part I was waiting for. The disrespectful part. disrespectful part. He said, I was disrespectful in how I chose to deal with it. Good night, Brandy. And which is funny is because if you look at the definition of irreverent, if you look at the definition of irreverent, which is the name of the game for stuck in the middle, it's showing a lack of respect for people or things that are generally taken seriously. That is what the show's about. Was I being a dick? I have a sign that says "Don't be a dick." That's my bad. You know, I'm not intentionally. Okay. Lie. You caught me in a lie. When you tell me sometimes something's getting to you, I do kind of maybe poke a little bit more, and you know that's a flaw. I'm not saying that's a positive thing. I mean, I'm saying that's a flaw in me. But this isn't new news. This isn't something to be like, whoa, I just learned something about. I mean, this has been long established, and even my lovely co-host Eli will do. Bergummer says, just do the show with Eli as a soundboard. You know what? I mean, it wouldn't work out as well because nothing is as good as an Eli rant. I'll tell you what. You know, so the soundboard will never fill in entirely, but I get your vibe. So for Eli to be confused and like, oh, how did he why was he doing the soundboard thing? It's like, do you not, this is not new, right? Like, I'm not being like out of the ordinary, you know, fucking around. And then I saw you getting kind of serious with it. So I just kind of like,
What the fuck was he talking about?
I kind of kept going at it. I was like, okay, he's getting kind of flustered at it. You know, like don't be a dick. And you rightfully so called it out. You said you're kind of being a dick. Let's finish playing a little bit of your video because you did title it a call out to Josh at Stuck in the Middle. And that only goes to about 8 minutes in the video, and the rest of the 26 minutes is like the beautiful and most respectful Eli rant.
With you and request or ask as my co-host, my cohort, my friend, my brother, that you fucking tone it down. So
he wants me to tone it down, okay, weird. Why not maybe bring this to my attention? You know, I probably wouldn't. Now that you made it public that you want me to tone it down, like I'm probably not. You know, I don't understand why you would make this video. You know, you know, we were talking about like the whole rescue thing and stuff like that beforehand, and it's like, well, yeah, don't we address people in person before we make something out in public like this? Which is fine. I love drama. As Eli knows, as I say, life is content. So I'm almost glad he chose this route just because it makes, you know, available more things to talk about. You know, and he also inadvertently revealed that I had a solo show coming out. I wasn't able to reveal it. He did. So that's why I decided just to, okay, let's get it out there now. We'll put it out on this channel. And there's still about, you know, another 4 minutes of this. So let's enjoy.
So that everybody can listen and hear and be absorbed by the topic that was picked. How else do I address you?
You stupid fucking cunt.
It's extra frustrating, especially watching it again. It is no longer acceptable.
I'd like to know in the chat. Press 1, hit 1 if I was being frustrating and a dickhead during Eli's serious moment. Because for me, I'd hit 1. You know what? I'll tell you what. Hang on. Let me go over here. Hang on. I'm sorry. This is, you know, it's a fucking whole thing. 1. Boom. There you go. I think I was being a dickhead. But that's nothing new. I'm a dickhead. Hey, fuck me, right? This guy sucks. What, you know, like however it goes. You know, however you want to make a roll.
Just because you tell me to stop means I'm going to do it more.
Okay. Here's the biggest. Here's one of them. Like, I'm like, wait, what?
Be absorbed by the topic that was picked. how else do I address you? So
in chat,
it's extra
in person,
frustrating, especially watching it again. It is no longer acceptable. Just because you tell me to stop means I'm gonna do it more.
Oh, it's no longer acceptable. Oh, shit. Ah, shit. Ah, fuck.
You fairy.
That's right. I can't do it anymore. It's no longer acceptable because...
Shit is getting real.
Okay?
Shit is real.
That's why it's no longer acceptable. Okay? And there's a few things that I kind of want to...
I shouldn't say it. I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say.
But I do know that
And I have to learn to make how to be a better white person.
Including the fact that I
have a baby's penis.
But...
I don't care whose dick you're sucking on, you're going out.
Because I would never say...
Get out of here, you bitch!
Woo!
I tried to make a sentence out of soundboards. I hope you guys like that. That was all soundboard. I don't know if there's a category for soundboard improv, but you just saw soundboard improv. It could have been the worst thing ever, but goddamn, I tried. We still got about 3 minutes left of this video. Let's enjoy, because this is my friend. As you know, there's a few things he does say that I'm like, after he's like, I'm gonna call you out, and then he's like, hey, oh, by the way, he's coming over to help me with my StreamYard, and he's giving me his mic.
No, man, that's gonna be a bunch of bullshit. If we're going to be equal partners, we each have to learn.
Eli's in the chat. Check it out. I'm never allowed to take... No. You can tell me to ease up, but you made a video about it. So do you expect me not to respond back with a video? Had I responded back in a Stuck at Night episode, it more than likely would have been lost within the episode. You titled the video. Even though it was maybe 1/3 of your video length, you titled the video, call out to Josh of Stuck in the Middle. The next episode on Monday, Tuesday probably wouldn't have been called anything along the lines of a call back to Eli, like nothing like that. We probably would have addressed it, of course, which we still should. But I don't understand, the big deal.
To respect one another when we are absolutely passionate about discussing anything that we choose for the show. This is a convenient time to mention that myself, as you know, this channel here, Progressive Patriot, youtube.com/C, can't get rid of it, apparently, / Progressive Patriot. There's this channel. There's the main channel where Josh and I started and will remain as humanly as far and possible as we can. And we do have, stars on our eyes for that. And then he hasn't reported this himself. He has reinstated an old channel.
I'm glad he's breaking my news. That's so awesome. I mean, I do appreciate it. He's like my TMZ right now.
Where he is going to also make some attempt at solo, which I think is fantastic. That way we can have like triple threat, right? You got your Eli's Progressive Patriot. You got your Josh's, I don't know. I think literally that's quite what it's called.
It is.
Stuck in the Middle. So everything can branch beneath the channel, the vision that is stuck in the middle, and you can get bonus content, Progressive Patriot rants or topics or what have you, and whatever Josh's I don't know topics and entertainment will be. He is the one that is talented with editing and acting and all that.
Thanks,
but
Thanks,
I think next episode, even though we're gonna have guests all next week, that's the goal.
Technolificer says this is getting a little heated for my taste. Y'all should work out managerial matters away from the employees. And listen, you're not wrong, but again, how would you expect me to respond to this? What should I have done? Maybe this wasn't the right way to respond, but I would also ask you to ask yourself the question, should have Eli made this video? Oh, yeah, and Bert Gummer, for the love of Jesus and everybody out there, nobody is demanding anybody draw any lines. Nothing like that. We're not trying to split up anything. Nothing like that. Nothing's happening. Again, we're good for this tift about once a year. I just showed you the video. Look in the description for Stuck in the Middle number 89, where I essentially do a similar video because Eli did a similar video. And sometimes, as Technolificer pointed out, maybe this might have been better spoken about between us, but I can't be the person to, you know, if it was raised up here, I got to meet you up here. If it was raised up here, I can't be like, well, I'll take it back down here. You know, you made a video entitled that, so I feel like I should respond in kind. I was going to respond on my show, but I saw like 15 progressive patriots on the Stuck channel. I was like, you know what? Now's what better time than ever to introduce the IDK show than on the Stuck channel, as we did with the Progressive Patriot, you know, as we did get you some subs. So this won't be a regular thing. Don't worry about being bombarded with bullshit. And by the way, I didn't want to start the IDK show with drama. That wasn't my intention. I don't think it will continue like this. I enjoy breaking down videos. I enjoy the vibe of the show just being, I don't know, it's kind of going to go. If you look at the description, it's like, you know, everything and nothing could happen, but I emphasize probably nothing is going to happen because probably nothing's going to happen. As Eli brings up later on in the video and stuff like that, like, you know, the style of show I enjoy putting on is like this camaraderie thing. I enjoy kind of having a back and forth with somebody. It doesn't matter who it is, but when you establish a good rapport with somebody and you guys start to feel out, you know, your back and forth, that's when it starts to get fun. But then all of a sudden a hiccup like this happens and there's this thing that's making it seem like, oh, this is so out of the ordinary. This isn't, you know, what's going on here. It just doesn't seem fully, it doesn't seem like it's the full story because this is what Stuck does. You know, we do irreverent shit. You know, we'll take something and like, man, I've been irreverent with some of my own personal stories, you know, as comes to suicide and stuff like that. So I'm a little confused why Eli got so upset about it. I'm a little more confused why he decided to make a full video, well, 1/3 a video about it, but title it as if it's the whole video. There's still about maybe 2 minutes left in this.
Josh, young man, we need to have a discussion, sir. I know at the end of the
we need to have a discussion, but it's out there, you know, in public. So okay, so it kind of seems like he's just kind of putting me on the spot, saying I'm in the wrong. So like, I don't know what else choice you leave me. You know, I don't know what else. You know, I don't know how else to retort to this besides doing a separate video, my friend.
Episode where you had kept on using the soundboard, and it's clear as day. I'm
Come on, man.
Just amused by me being annoyed.
Be more funny.
Yeah, we're gonna have to speak live about respecting boundaries, and when
Boring.
we want to see it come to fruition.
Boring.
If anything, that was a pure and plain example of why I feel any compulsion or need to have a solo channel. So
Such a cop out. Such a cop out. I mean, Eli, I love you, bro, but come on, man. How dare you say, you know, I'm the reason you decided to have a solo channel. You know why you decided to have a solo channel. You like ranting. Don't pretend like I'm the reason that compelled you to have a solo channel. In fact, I get what you're trying to imply, that in fact, more to the reason why you enjoying have that outlet is because you don't have to work within somebody else's confines. You know, when you're not here, I don't have to work within your confines. But I don't mind that because that's the kind of show I like to put on. You know, if you go back and look at the episode Stuck 89, I talk about teamwork. I talk about all this stuff. You know, you mentioned it in this video. As I said before, you know, you talk about me being in bands. I do look at this as like a team effort thing. Like there's something about two people or more in the room that brings a different energy than somebody just giving a soliloquy, like maybe I am now, or as Eli does. You know, which is fine. There is a time and a place for that. There's no hate on that.
I don't have to deal with somebody that doesn't. Don't let it sound too harsh. That does not respect the fact that there is something I am passionate about, that I want the audience that is watching to listen, hear, and get involved in terms of the conversation. So
I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
People found it hilarious. You know, if I am to be your partner in this endeavor, we've got to find a
Doesn't it seem like, isn't the implication going on right now? Like, he's like, if I'm your partner, like, you can't, you know.
I'm a strong, independent woman.
You can't do that. You can't, you know, it's just like, there seems like there's some ultimatums that are happening in front of the scene, as opposed to maybe having a reasonable conversation behind the scenes.
Common ground, stuck in the middle, if you will, of respect when it comes to things that we're each passionate about. Just as I know to remain silent when you are making your point.
Where did you learn your trade, you stupid fucking cunt, you idiot?
So he does, we have learned how each other's speech goes. You know, we have learned when we can throw in there. But he loves reading the chat. He can't help reading the chat. And we've tried to refine that a little bit and make sure that, you know, when he reads the chat, it's super chats, by the way, supersede anything anybody says. Super chats, you read out loud. So there's never been a conversation where I have said, you're not allowed to read super chats. What I have brought up is an idea that maybe we save some of the super chats towards the end to answer them. Never said that's what we had to do, just an idea to, you know, bounce back off of. But I'm perfectly fine, as I've always stated, reading a super chat during the show as it comes in. As far as the chats go, perfectly fine with that. But there have been a few occasions where I myself or another, you know, guest have been in mid-conversation and Eli will read out the chat. And it's just like, sometimes it's on point, sometimes it's not on point. But for him to kind of imply that he doesn't interrupt, he doesn't, but when it comes to chats, he does. And we're all figuring out our role, you know, our vibe and how we react with everything. And I think Eli personally is perfect for reading back the chats because of how engaged he is with that. And he's very insightful. He's very intuitive. He, you know, he's been learning and being better about, you know, which chats to read and kind of which will help maybe move the conversation forward, whatnot like that. But let's not pretend as if there was a time when everything was just being read. So let's continue just a little bit. There's not much more.
Reading super chat users and comments that are relevant.
Hang on one second. Eli, do you want to call in? Like I see you're on. I'll throw the line up. Or do you want to zoom in? Come on, man. I think why not deal with this now and not waste the show on Monday or Tuesday? So let me know if you want to zoom in now and or call in now. You know, if you want Eli to do that, put a 1 in the chat. Let's see what happens, okay? If you want Eli to call in now and or zoom in now, put a 1 in the chat. I see him. He's there. We're just finishing up. Might as well get this solved now as opposed to waiting. But I like a good build-up.
Man, you rewatch.
I did. We did. I did. I rewatched. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I saw where I was being a dick. I saw where you were totally involved in it. To me, none of them were wrong. You know, I get what you're saying, but you bring it up as if I'm always disrespectful to your videos that are trying to be respectful. And this was, to me, this was one of those off instances where I was just like, yeah, I was kind of like, as you pointed out, I got kind of bored, yada, yada, yada. But I think this is the anomaly as opposed to the thing that happens all the time. 90
or 91, and you tell me you weren't being a bit of a asshole.
Eli, my brother, my friend, everybody wants you to call in. Let me throw up. I mean, I think you know the number by now, but let me make sure I got Google Voice pulled up, and you know, we'll see if he does, man. Or do you want him to come in through Zoom? I'd prefer Zoom, But if he's there, whatever's easier for him. That's all. So I got Google Voice pulled up. He knows the number. The number's on the screen. If not, I can send him a Zoom link and we can have some fun here. Let's play just a little more of his video without just the audio. So listen.
I know it says don't be a dick behind you, but hey, you were kind of a dick.
I was totally a dick.
Hey, I'm a dick too, but you owned it that way.
Okay.
That's it. Progressive Patriot exclusive, stirring up the pot and the drama.
So he admits he's stirring up the pot and the drama, and we're 8:24 into it.
With Tom and Jim from Florida. Hi guys.
And this is the point where a lot of people started to hop on his stream, and he talked about whatever else he's allowed to talk about because he's allowed to do that, rightfully so. But when I initially saw the video, it said call out to Josh of the STIM, and I saw 2652. I was like, holy shit, this guy fucking went on almost for half an hour about me. What did I do wrong? What the fuck did I do wrong?
That's right.
Listen, if Eli doesn't call in, I would love, me personally, for any one of you to call in and give your 2 cents on what's going on. Listen, we got it.
Call from
Pod stir.
to accept.
Wrong.
Is this the Eli?
Yeah, what's up, brother?
What up, man?
All right, so
hang on, let me,
unfortunately, Zoom.
I want to pull
is
your
not
name.
the most. Sorry.
I just want to make sure your name is on the screen so people, So, but I'm sorry, your name's up. Just want to put that on there.
Awesome.
Zoom's being a fuck for you.
Zoom is not the most convenient at the moment because I'm going to be heading out. A couple of high school friends from the reunion that I'm going to be attending are waiting for me. But that aside,
nice.
My example that I mentioned earlier in the chat, if you can remember the helicopter passenger landing story, right?
Okay.
Do you remember talking about that one?
Was this on 91?
No. This was when the story broke for the guy that had to land the plane, who had no training, and broke that story.
Yes, I do remember that, and we actually never got to play the video of the stupid news reporter going back in and getting lessons from a guy who spoke no English. So maybe we can go back to that. But
well, as I bring that up for the reason of and by the way, yeah, this dude, I absolutely did this with the interest of I thought breaking the IDK news was a good move. Probably should have discussed that with you, but I digress. For example, that the airplane story, I found it to be immensely overdone, boring, but I, out of respect, I didn't do anything to distract or deviate. And so, yeah, I was hoping that during that bit that I had chosen, it could have just been covered and that you would have. But
that's what we do,
the request.
Right? If you didn't like that bit and it was that boring, you should have done that. You should have felt you know what I mean? Don't hold me to what you didn't do. I've been me the whole time. You know what I mean? And I'm not. This is not anything saying you haven't been you, but I'm just saying what I did on Stuck at Night 91 wasn't unlike what Josh would do.
Yeah, I do hope, because I don't know how else to say, especially when it's occurring live. Hey, man, we're almost at the final stretch. There were people in the chat that were really moved and engaged, and of course that gets me hyper-focused like a hawk, as you put it. So I was very disappointed that after I tried to request it as respectfully as possible, hi Kimmy, that you kept going. So yeah, I did get upset, but I did. I'm totally guilty of doing this with the intention of getting both channels and Stuck in the Middle to have a little traction as well, but I was genuinely upset too. So I thought it would maybe benefit everything.
If it was a 51-49, I say you were 51 more upset and you were 49 like, oh, this could be good. Because I know you're a content guy, as I am, and we like to kind of turn things into that. But I did feel, and like, you know, in that moment when that happened, I felt the tension. And then as I have down in the description, like I kind of thought that we got over that in that moment. But until that video was re-aired or came back on YouTube, did you make that video? And like, you know, like as you were saying, like, so maybe in the future, if this is something where you're like, I feel like this is more like, maybe we can, before we go on, we can preface things at the very least saying, let's try to take this one more serious or something of that nature. Because if that's not said, like, again, for me, and you can say I'm wrong and whatever you want to, and I will accept that, but I didn't feel like I did anything out of the ordinary. I just, you know, I think when we spoke about that video beforehand, I do think I was kind of wary on it, but I asked you, you know, like, how can we kind of preface and get to what the path, because like it's a long video and I was self-conscious. I was concerned that this video would be boring. So in me being self-conscious, I tried to like spice it up and make it funny and stuff like that. Like in no point until you said something was I kind of intentionally doing it to piss you off. In the very beginning, it was just simply for fun, just because like it's a heavy topic, and sometimes, you know, you get to interrupt my points sometimes with the chat, and sometimes I interrupt your points with levity, vice versa. Sometimes I'll see something in the chat that seems important, and you'll interrupt it with levity. So I don't think anybody's off limits with interrupting sometimes, as long as, you know, the intent is there. I know we all hate that word in 2022, but you know, my intent wasn't to piss you off until you said, hey, could you stop? And I was like, okay, well, maybe there's something here.
Like, well, I literally, like, I not that I expect the word please to have made a big difference, but I really didn't know how else after a couple of requests to be as respectful. Like, dude, like, you know, please, seriously, I do want to cover this. And really quick, all right, Panjo, homie, I watch you in the chat, and knowing now that all this time it's been you, I straight up see you as a fucking pussy when we are face to face, when you got all this fuck shit to say in your fucking chat. Keep this energy, homie, when we fucking sit in the same studio. Please. You and your fucking emojis and your shit talking, always some shade at my way, Panjo. Please keep that fucking legitimate and sincerity for me when we're face to face, hombre, please. Okay? But yeah, no, Josh, we're fantastic, brother.
Listen, dude, I hope you understand what I did here wasn't me thinking we weren't. That's all. I just want you to understand that. Just as I did this before. Like, isn't it funny how this happened in like, literally, I did a similar video on a Wednesday or Thursday because of what happened on a Tuesday. Stuck at Night 91 happened on a Tuesday. By the way, it's so close that the last time this happened was Stuck in the Middle 89. Bro, come on. That's kind of funny, right? We were like 2 episodes off of it being the same thing.
I love the number irony and how that all plays out.
And that was March 25th, March, April, May. We're 2 months past that. So, like, as I was saying, like, it's almost like we're good for 1 a year, right?
Yeah, let's see if we could bump those rookie numbers up to, like, at least 2.
So, I mean, like, so moving forward, how could I do better? How could you do better? I feel like
I'm just going to have to try to more sincerely come across like, listen, man, like, please, like, I don't know, you know, you're not good with responding to like, hey, please don't do this, you know. We covered that.
If you
for
put
years.
me on the spot, man, that's it. If you put me on the spot, you're right. If you bring it up to me beforehand, that there is a better chance that I will understand. But if you throw me on the spot, that's how I'm going to defend myself. That's
yes,
all it
but
is.
I had no idea to expect it. You know,
I know.
In the
Me
moment.
neither. I hope you know me
So
neither,
it's just,
man.
You know, yeah, it's just growing pains.
It is.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I take accountability.
Sincerely, like what's up?
I said I take accountability that I know I didn't want to do this, and I feel like you really didn't want to do that, but it was late. You know, you were kind of feeling kind of sort of ways because you just watched the show. You know what I mean? Like,
it was fresh.
Right. And I should know better. Like, I know Fresh Eli. Fresh Eli gets, you know, he's fucking riled up, bro. He's ready to go. You know? And, like, same thing with me. Fresh Josh is like, oh, shit. You know, like, I woke up, I got a phone call from someone. It was like, hey, are you guys good? I'm like, wait, what do you mean? So, like, I didn't even know, like, I didn't even see that you did that until I got a phone call from somebody else being like, hey, are you guys good? I'm like, what do you mean? What happened? He's like, oh, well, you know, there was a video made and it called you out. And I was like, wait, what? You know, so I got in my car. Like, finally I got all my stuff together. You know, I was all my what have yous for driving to work. I was like, let me put this sumbitch on. And I put it on, and there you were. Like, the title was A Call Out to Josh of the Sit I Am. I was like, okay.
Yeah. After I had finished addressing the topic, I had no idea it was going to go as long as it did, but it was, you know, I respond when there's an audience, and it was very refreshing to see that there were people there, and it became a whole other thing. But the title was already, you know, made.
No, I know. And, dude, I have I'm busting your balls a little bit because, you know, it is kind of, you know, par for the course with you. Like, you know, just getting sidetracked. Like, here's the title, and then like seeing the chat and getting sidetracked. Like, that's what you do. Like, I think whatever like, we need to make sure that you know, it's funny too, bro, by the way, and I'm not being a dick, but it's funny that, you know, the first 8 minutes of your video was like calling me out, and then like throughout the video you were like, oh, yeah, you know, by the way, Josh is coming over on Sunday. He's going to help me set the stream labs up. He's giving me his mic, you know, but yeah, fuck him for calling me out.
Because in no way did I envision anything that I said to be some sort of groundbreaking, like, oh, my God, this was so serious, it's over. I thought this would benefit all three channels.
Not that it was over, but what did you think it was going to do? What was your, like, you know, when you title it like that and you do something at that moment, you know, and you told me I'm going home and doing, you know, like this and that. So, like, I'm only thinking, oh, shit, he got in this, you know, he was just, like, in this cycle, and then he saw the video and started, you know, ranting on it, you know, like, what were you expecting to happen from it?
What, after the video was put out?
Yeah, like, what were you expecting from the result of your live video?
Truly, honestly, and sincerely, I was hoping that IDK would make some sort of a premiere.
So you ruined my premiere. What you're saying?
Yes.
That's fine.
I take full accountability for ruining the fuck out of your premiere.
That's fine. You know, I appreciate it. You know, at the very least, it's publicity.
Or
right?
come back stronger with some IDK content, man. Because I know you're more than capable of doing anything solo. I want to.
It's not about the solo thing. It's just about, you know, trying to figure out how to make it entertaining with one person. That's my only you know, insecurity. Is like I like the team effort. I like the vibe of multiple people. You know, it keeps everything going. There's really no downtime. So it's just like, you know, adjusting to that. So you know, whatever. I appreciate you debuting my show that I couldn't wait to debut myself. Thank you for doing that.
I mean, I honestly, I didn't. I suppose I should have considered it, but the way you spoke about IDK, it didn't seem like you had any real intention to do anything with it, but you mentioned that you did just generate it. But whatever the case, I mean, it is. Hold on. He ruins your premiere, yet lied, saying he thought, you know, Panjo, we got a Panjo STD. Like, he's on your dick. Make sure it doesn't scratch or, I mean, itch too much. Yes, Panjo, keep your motherfucking energy, bro, because I'm sick of watching you be two-faced. Okay,
I'm trying to get him to call in before he wants to come. I mean, listen, we're trying to be guest heavy next week. Let's get him to call in. Let's see how that call goes and see if.
No, I want to see him face to face because I'm done with his online persona.
But we'll have a tease, before that. So don't get too hot and bothered.
Tired of his shit.
Why? Why?
He's such a sweetheart in person, but he's a piece of shit when he's further away.
Let's make sure that we are getting the anger out at each other and not projecting it on other people. Like, are we good? Are we done with this? Like, did we get this out?
You and I are fucking copacetic 100%.
Okay.
But I'm going to stand by my hashtag fuck Panjo. I want him to be real with me for once. Face to fucking face.
Well,
so let him call in and talk all his hot shit, or do it like he does on the keyboard all the fucking time. He loves fucking around with like Technolificer or whatever the fuck. Let him be his real self. I want to see him.
He wants the number.
Yeah, all right. What's up?
No, I'm going with you. Like I'm saying, he wants the number. Let's let him call in. And if you feel like responding after that,
I'm gonna be out of here though.
Yeah, check it out. All right. Thank you for calling in, and we'll figure out what we're doing Monday or Tuesday. I know Monday's Memorial Day, but, maybe we can do something on Memorial Day. So let's figure it out, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully,
One love, we're good? You and I, we're good?
I'm putting money. Yeah, of course, man.
Okay. Fucking awesome. Keep on keeping it.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
Good,
Eli,
good
everybody.
idea. Bye.
Yes, sir. Eli, everybody. There we go. This is why this show happened, just to get this out of the way. Benson Brody, the number's up on the screen, 954-399-3631. If you feel like calling in, Eli had said some things, but you're more than welcome to retort to those things. This is the IDK show, the premiere. The link to this show is in the description. Don't you count on any type of drama, wink. Literally, I don't know what's going on with that. So we'll figure that out as it goes. But if you feel like subscribing, do it. I lost a live video because I decided to do it on this channel tonight as opposed to that channel. But it works out. This is a good advertisement for that piece of crap channel. Let's see. I think we got him. Yep.
Call from
hashtag fuck Eli.
Damn. Hashtag fuck Eli's on the phone. What's up, brother?
Well, Eli is on one tonight, isn't he? I think what's funny about this whole situation is that Eli can't take responsibility for anything that he's done because I'm busting his balls in the chat room. He wants to act all hot and heavy. If he would fucking read the chat, I tell how I like both of you. He's such a fucking idiot. And I will say all this to his face, because if you notice, Josh, before any of this, I don't try to talk to him before the podcast. He talks to me. He engages me. He's the one that is nice to me. If he has any questions or any problems with me, he asks me questions and I address it.
Yeah.
Nothing that I say online. Why he's getting all hot and bothered, because I'm kind of stirring up the chat a little bit. I believe that he is too insecure in his position on the show and that he needs to gaslight other people and go a little overboard and over dramatic in order to secure his spot.
You're saying,
and that's just how I feel about it. And I will say all of this, this is nothing I've kept from him. I still have said that he was a narcissist. I mean, nothing has changed, right?
You've felt the same way for a while now.
Excuse me?
I said no. You've felt the same way for a while now. You've not.
So what is he saying about this keyboard warrior? Like none of the stuff I've said to him in person. That's what I'm not understanding.
I do think.
So again,
can I say?
Go ahead.
I do think that there is regardless of what it is, and I don't know what it is. There's there for whatever reason, and we don't know what it is, but there's like a 5, a 10, a 15% animosity between you guys. I don't know what it is, but what I'm saying is that small animosity always leads towards text being allowed to be taken a certain way, being allowed to being misinterpreted. So I don't know what it like. Maybe it's because you're both Jewish, you know, like maybe it's like a.
Well, so I'll give you my interpretation. This is really how I see it.
I'm joking, by the way. I didn't know
how it's always been. No, I mean I agree. I think Jews don't really know how to talk. I mean, come on, Middle East, you can't get along for shit. But no, I think that well, a few points, but I'll just go with this one since you know it's 12:30. I'd like to do this in person. It's it's a lot more effective.
We will, if you want to.
Yeah,
we will.
Sure.
We'll make sure it happens next week. So just pick a day, Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, even Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, it's always been between Eli and I, and I agree with that. Whatever percentage you gave, that what I've done always with a relationship is always accentuated that. And what I've always felt was we kind of bantered on each other and would bust each other's balls. That's how I always looked at it. So any of the things that I might be saying that might be maybe insulting towards him, what I always thought was we were busting each other's balls. Dude, in the chat, I said, I'm going to give $15 if he doesn't call in because I don't think he's going to. Guess what? He called in, and I said, well, I guess I owe $15. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's taking this shit too seriously. He's being way too over dramatic about this whole situation. And I apologize for seeing him getting personal, but he's a fucking dick to you, bro. Hate to say it, but we'll talk about it on Monday. But for him to fucking announce your own show and then lie about it, he says he thought he was helping.
Yeah,
but then by the end of the conversation, no, he's like, no, I ruined it. Yeah, he's fake, he's phony, and I will say that all this, which I said before, but I will say it a lot more bluntly, and I'll say it the way he wants to hear it, which is an aggressive tone, mean. So maybe that will enlighten him, and that will give him what he wants out of this, which is more drama. Because why is he going to call me out, yelling at me? You know what I mean? Like,
listen, I've said, and I'm not trying to like the vibe I got between your guys's disputes and what you have going on back and forth. The only way I can describe it is like when I was growing up, I lived in New York, right? I had a best friend named Joey. I moved away when I was 7, right? And then every year I would come back, and I would come back for summer. I'd come back for Christmas, right?
Right.
I started, and everything was fucking copacetic. Everything we're going, we're doing good. Everything's fantastic. Then around high school starts to hit, and I remember
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yes,
yeah.
I remember coming back one year and seeing like this motherfucker who was like, you're my role. You're me.
Right.
I'm the funny guy. I'm the guy who does what you're doing. So like we were so in the same universe, in the same realm, like we butted like, and I don't even think he butted heads with me as much as I was like on the defensive, like, fuck you, motherfucker. I'm supposed to be the fat, funny guy. How dare you? Right. You know what I mean? Like, and I always felt out of place. But one of the things, and like literally one time I arrived to New York while I was like on like tripping. I was tripping. And that revelation, it still sticks with me to this day. Like, there's all these roles that friends have in their group, and there are repetitive and or redundant roles that get filled, and we all seek out these roles, to fill. And because I'm not coming back and forth all the time, like naturally you will find somebody to fit that type of vibe you're looking for, So when you come back in the picture, it's like, oh my God, we're the same fucking person. I think on a smaller scale, you and Eli think so much alike. You guys have a conflicting, like you guys are butting heads so much. I could be wrong.
I was kind of with you, and then I kind of fell off because the way I've always seen it was Eli always felt a little out of place because we had this long history. And then Eli came in And then I did my thing, right? I disappeared, and then I would come in every once in a while, and it was like, oh, hey, we had this long history together, and whenever we connect, it's Josh and Pandra when we were younger, right? So it's like, so
we don't miss a beat. We don't miss a beat.
That where Eli felt a little put off by it, and had to maybe, overcome that with being a little bit more dramatic or whatever, kind of, however way he would overcome that. That's what I've always felt. But again, like,
okay,
the way I live my life is I allow people to be people and I allow them to be them. And that's what, even the last time I was on the podcast, they said, dude, I don't hate anybody. I don't dislike anybody. That's too much energy to put out there. There's better things to worry about, right? There's other things to worry about. What I think that Eli is doing, and again, all this would be said to him, is he's over dramatizing, but at the same time, hate to say it, making you look like shit, making your show look like shit. And I'm happy that you're going on your own now, because now I can support you. I don't have to worry about Eli. And that's it. Like that, and that's where I'm like, last time that I will be on a show with Eli will be this last time I'm unstuck, because I much rather would do a show that you're hosting and that you're taking care of. And that's just, yeah.
Will you be open to, if that stuck show goes good, not to have that point of view? I just want to, like, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day,
listen,
I understand what you're saying, Pandra.
Yeah,
like, I get you. But are you open-minded enough to be like, oh, shit, myself and Eli fucking hash it out so much that we're on the same page now. We've figured it out. We can do this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you have that room for that there? Like, are you equipped?
I will say this, and it's going to sound harsh, but this is just the way it is. And this is not to be mean or to be anything, but Eli is not a close friend of mine, right? We tried to have some conversations. They didn't work out for whatever reason. And so there's no need in my life for somebody that I think is a pathological liar, and essentially a character. And that's just, I think he's not living as himself. I think he just clings onto ideas, and that's just how I feel about him. And why I've never gone into detail as deep as this is because I've never had to, because I don't think it's necessary. But if he's going to go on here and say that I'm some way, all this I've tried to say to his face, yet he has we can watch the episodes and you can see how any question he's asked me, I've addressed. So for him to say any of this is ridiculous. And he said, and again, you're his brother, his co-host, his comrade, yet he can't call you and be like, hey, bro, that was fucked up of you. He has to make a video.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I was confused by that. I was very confused. I was taken aback by that comment, but
right. And instead of being a man and just being like, Pancho's being a dick, I haven't really liked the way he's been. I'm gonna contact him and see what's up with him. No, he bottles all up and then goes on your debut show that he ruined, that he announced for you, that your debut show now is about him and issues unstuck in the middle. Is that fair to you? So we can talk about Eli, but let's talk about, what else Eli is doing. So, yeah. And again, all this, I'll go back and listen to this whole conversation. It's recorded. So,
okay.
And I'll do it with Eli, and we'll address every single thing. And the problem is that when we address every single thing, Eli is not going to be able to make excuses. That's going to be very uncomfortable for him. Very uncomfortable with them. Because if I were you, when he said, I thought I was helping you by announcing it, and then later on in the conversation said, no, I know I ruined it. Then what was your statement before?
Well,
so you lied before. Mm-hmm.
Like, him and I both vibe to don't be a dick. And I do believe with what you're saying that like I don't think he intended to be a dick by being like, oh, Josh has got a new show, but he was just like, it was like, it was something in that, like, what I will say is I don't hold him to that.
Right.
I'm like, man, I was looking forward to doing that.
Was that I didn't know about this broadcast till you were live, but was that broadcast he made live about your show?
Did he do his show live? Yes, he did.
Okay, so he did it live, kept it posted, knowing that he announced his show.
Kept his posted. Said, hey. Also, too, get this, didn't send me that link. I got called by somebody else telling me he did a video.
So you had to be notified by your notifications to get a notification from your own.
I had a person call me to tell me,
so you didn't get notified.
Are you guys okay? Yeah, I was like, okay. I didn't even realize we weren't okay. Like I get like after talking to Eli, I get hopefully what he's saying, and I will take him at what he's saying. That like okay, maybe we can turn this into some kind of content. No problem. Mm-hmm. But was I still taken aback by it? Yes, because I got some phone call while I was taking a poo, and he was like, "Yo, did you see the fucking Eli video he did about you?" And I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I mean, that's your brother.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what our brothers do.
And like, I listen, and I don't.
That's why I don't think Eli is genuine in anything he says.
He posted it on the community page, and I had no idea, because if you go back to our community page, you see that I posted. I was like, okay, like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't realize he posted his video unstuck, which he very well should have, but he didn't tell me he did, which is fine. Like, whatever. But so I was like, okay, let me do a good thing and post his video. I made a little comment saying, ooh, spicy. Look forward to my retort to this later. And only until, just recently, I was like, oh shit, he also posted that video. So I kind of looked dumb again because I reposted what he had already posted on the community page. Like, and that's partially my fault for not checking what's on there, but I had no idea. Like, I had no idea when he did the video. I had no idea when he did the community post. Doesn't bother me.
Well,
but
yeah, I mean, so I'm going to say this. Josh, you were a complete dick. I loved it personally because that's just the shit I'm into. Like, I love awkward moments. I love cringy situations. I love really uncomfortable situations. I love that Eli was so into it and you were taking a dab. Yeah. It was hilarious. And like and yes, it did get to a point where you're like, yeah, you are kind of being a dick. But like, again, that like, I think that's kind of why I like the show. Yeah, I like the serious points, and then how you make fun of something. That's just the type of comedy I like. And I always thought that Eli and you had a pretty damn good thing by having serious, but also, he was funny sometimes too, and you were always the comic relief, but also got really opinionated sometimes.
But vice versa too. Like that. Sometimes I would get opinionated and he would make the joke. So like, I was only confused by like why he took it where he took it, So like, that's what I was saying. Like, for whatever
I will
reason,
say this to him, and I'm saying this on air because I'll say it to his face, because, and this may sound cruel as well, but I think that he is only, no, you know what? I'm going to say this to his face. I can't say it over the phone, and it's going to be too mean, or not mean, but too brutally honest of how I feel about somebody. But to the point where it's just like, I don't want to say things to upset somebody or to hurt them,
right.
Because a lot of this is out of disappointment of Eli just going on this dude, like I think that the dude's gonna be 40 years old, bro. We're all gonna be 40. I mean, you're younger, but we're gonna be 40 years old, and you're calling people out on the internet over the phone. You're calling people keyboard warriors. You're like, that is high. I mean, high school doesn't even do that anymore. This is elementary shit.
Can I tell you?
Middle school shit.
Like, can I tell you? Like, I don't mind that part. What I do mind is like, I'm being like, I mind that you called me out. Like, why? It's just like,
no. But you
That's where
can't
I'm
mind to be.
confused.
You can listen. You got both are doing. You're doing the podcast, both podcasts together, and now we're doing solo podcasts. You're going to get called out. You guys know this, so be prepared. And if you can't handle it, then don't do it, or get ready to really just not to have a good time doing this. Right? Like this is what you guys signed up at the end of the day.
And I do know, I do know, knowing Eli, he was like, okay, I'm going to make this video, and I guarantee you in some way, whether it's the next Stuck in the Middle, whether Josh does something his own, it's going to lead to something. So I understand where his head was, but the only thing it's just like, I don't know. I would just like, I don't know. I'm fine the way it happened. You know what I mean? But I also would be like, maybe if in the to preface some of the topics we're getting into, maybe we do need to be like, hey, this one I'd like to be a little more serious about, like, which would give me, okay, I understand. Maybe I would do only 1 or 2 soundboard jokes. Right?
I think, but here's the thing: is that I think what we're talking about, you and I, is not something that should be talked about on the podcast, right? Like, the only reason why it's on the podcast now is because Eli made a video of it. So instead of going behind the scenes, dealing with it, coming back next week with a stronger, better show and understanding, maybe even Eli make a separate video of him just covering the sensitive case of, the school shooting and him just a whole episode of it. Even apologize. Hey, listen, Josh really wasn't into it, but, this is something serious to me. I apologize if Josh upset anybody or blah, blah, blah. Here's my take on it. Like, yes, that's one way. But
I'm thinking the same thing real quick. Don't forget your thought, but I want to chime in real quick. I'm thinking the same thing. Like, maybe that would have been a better video, maybe to re-expound on his own channel, as opposed to just saying, oh, I didn't take it seriously. Maybe just that, the Stuck at Night, Stuck in the Middle wasn't the place for this channel. I have some more serious views on this that I like to get across. So that's where I give him some of the maybe this is some things you got to, realize, bro. Like, I'm not saying.
But in no way in that situation of that episode, if he would have said, Josh, you're fucking pissing me off, bro. Just chill out. Come on, please.
That would have made it worse, though, bro. I'll tell you what. Like me, I would have been like, I would have just started.
Where did you learn your trade, you stupid fucking cunt, you idiot?
I'd have kept going. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he knew.
I mean, in no way, and absolutely, like, he would had all the right to, and I think he almost got to that point. I was hysterically laughing because it's just, I know you two, right? Like, people watch you all the time. I know you guys, personally, so it's like, I see the frustration, and it's not because, I get a laugh out of it because I like you guys. I mean, not so much Eli anymore, but, from the experience I had with Eli, even if I don't have the greatest opinion on him, I still think what he's doing is something that he wants to do, and he's working towards something. You got to respect somebody who's putting in time and effort in something, plus working a full-time job. I've never taken that away from him.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Do I question the way he goes about things, the way he confronts things? And, this isn't the first time this has happened between Eli and I, where he's talked a lot of shit, and then when I try to meet with him in person or talk to him over the phone, he doesn't want to do it.
And myself and Eli, like, I've told Eli, like a few times, like, I want to do this show 4 or 5 times a week, and like on Wednesdays and Fridays when we're off, he does a show. And it's like, well, I mean, shit, fuck. So you did have some time. Well, even if we zoomed in, we could have maybe.
Listen, I don't want to be a fucking. I've just been there from the beginning, right? I was, one of the few first guests. So I was on before Eli was on, right? Before he was stuck in the middle, or no, it was like one of the few, whatever. It was before he was even stuck in the middle, whatever. But like, so I've seen where it came from to where it is now, and I've always been supportive, always. And it was always Eli misunderstanding me, I guess, me busting his balls, but always thinking, oh, we had a talk. We came to a conclusion, like he said, like, hit him up, and I hit him up, and he never called back. Like, again, Eli, he likes to paint a picture. And
that's why I did. I I love Eli. He's one of my closest friends. We do a show, but like he does like inadvertently sometimes, like when he comes out and like he says something along the lines of like he'll say something like, I like to interrupt and speak on the chat. I like to interrupt and read super chats. One would interpret it like as if I don't. And it's like, well, no, that's like, this is one of the things where I'm like, I feel the need to speak about it because you made a video titled about this, easily searchable. Stuck 92 is going to be this thing that's probably not titled anything about it. I want to have some type of retort that lives on where it lives on. And it's just like, like, no, that's not necessarily always the case.
Right. Well, again,
because I've never once said, Eli, don't read super chats. I've never once said blatantly, Eli, don't read chats. What I have said is there was a period of time, and I don't fault him. Nothing at all. But and it's kind of my fault for forgetting shit. But he would read a chat in the moment. It would throw me off. And it'd be like, oh fuck, what the fuck was I talking about? And we have to figure it out. And like, he would get mad at me doing the soundboard thing, interrupting his thoughts. It's like, well, it's the same thing. Like we do that equally to each other. Like I didn't think this was anything surprising. Hang on one second, Panjo. Can you hear this if I pull this up?
Oh, fuck, what the fuck was I talking about?
Hello?
Is he still
Eli.
on? Yeah, this is Eli.
Panjo and Eli, can you hear each other?
Sort of.
I can hear him.
Panjo, did you hear that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys are on right now. I don't know if you want to remember the delay, and we could always do this more so in person and make it a little more, figure it out.
That would be optimal. But I've got to point out, Pandra, you think I'm jealous of you?
No.
And apparently, okay, the narcissist thing, man, that's cool. Over it. My issue with you is that you have always busted my balls online. Never truly face to face, which has given me the impression that you felt some kind of way, because why in person? And you make it sound like you've tolerated me when I'm trying to speak to you in person. You just responded to me, and like there's no connection. So, hey, Josh, I'm sorry. I wasn't aware how big of a deal that IDK was. We talked about it. I had no idea. I fucked. Sorry. Okay, that's the only thing that I cop to as being the biggest thing. No. It's cool. But Panjo had a lot to say about me. I'm a fucking fraud. I'm fake. I'm not authentic. That's a lot of shit. Yes, I do hope you say everything that you have truly felt about me from day one, and all this strong shit you've always said. I remember when I was confused about his name popping up. Every time I went live, he'd throw shade at me, and he'd always talk about how better off you were without me, which has led me to believe this motherfucker has an issue, and he can't speak to me face to face.
Okay, Panjo, retort, sir.
Okay. Can I address a few things that he said? So this is classic of somebody making something up in their head. Now, once they say you felt jealous. Now, once they say that you were phony or fake, I say you play a character. That's what I said. So you're misinterpreting everything I'm saying. So we're only hearing what you want to hear. That's a problem in a communication. So how can we communicate Eli and Benjamin Sweet in a way where we're both communicating the same thing to each other and understanding? Okay? So now that I said that, now I've clarified what actually was said. So now you need to interpret that, look inward, and figure out why it's bothering you so much.
Josh,
'Cause I
can you
didn't say
repeat
any
any
of
of
that.
those things to me?
Did you not hear him at all?
I said that you were
it's ever
jealous.
so
That's what I
faintly.
said. That's what I said. I said you were jealous. Those were the words that came out of my mouth.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I mean,
That's what I said.
Are
I'm
you
asking
shitting?
you, 'cause
And,
I will
and
go
why
back
would
and
I be
listen to it, 'cause I can
insecure on a
almost
show
guarantee you
I have
I
given 3
specifically
years to?
left
That's the
out
most asinine thing
jealousy.
I've ever heard.
All right, Eli, because of this delay, I can't have a conversation with you because you're talking over me. I allowed you to speak, and I was returning a rebuttal. But I'm asking you a question. To the words that Eli is jealous of me, Benjamin Sweet, Panjo, Benson Brody, that's what I said. That's my question to you.
Josh, can you repeat the question?
He's asking if you, Eli, were jealous of Benson, Brody, Panjo.
That's not what I asked.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Panjo. I'm sorry. Say it again, and I'll retort it properly. I don't know why you guys can't hear each other. I'm confused. So I was trying to figure out the audio situation.
Eli said that I said he was jealous. That's what he said that I said. My question to him.
Hang on 1 second. Ready? Eli.
Like I'm hearing.
Panjo said you said.
No, I hear.
Okay.
I hear him.
Okay. Perfect. So I'm gonna stop talking. Panjo, go ahead, buddy.
I'm asking if that's what you heard. That you heard those words come out of my mouth.
Oh, I mean, we can't sit here and deny that was not implied. You were talking about how
there
I
you
felt
go.
out of
Panjo,
place
hang on.
because the two of you-
there you go.
Panjo, hang on 1 second. Let Eli finish. So because there's a delay. So let him finish his thought, and then you keep going.
He had literally said that apparently I had felt out of place because of the history and or possibly chemistry the two of you have had. And I do believe I heard him say that I'm insecure. I remained on the show every fucking time I show up if I'm so secure? I talk about everything, yet I'm a fraud and I'm a narcissist. And this was all some sort of machination to make it about me. Clearly, Panjo and I just don't see eye to eye. That's all. And I'd like him to say everything he really feels face to face, far more valuable than hearing a whisper faintly in the background. So you want to chalk this up to Monday unless he has something more valuable to say to me? Oh, and I love that he's going to support you. And some people speculated he's sabotaging the gig here. Fantastic, Panjo. Go make a Panjo Josh show. It's not going to hurt my feelings, bro.
Go ahead, Panjo.
Am I the only one that heard that?
No, we all heard.
I'm not jealous.
I didn't say you were. You said I was, or implied it.
Josh, if you can tell Eli to please, when I'm talking, not to talk over me.
Yeah. Like Eli, we did give... I did cut Panjo off to make sure you could finish, so just remember, this is even worse than Zoom, bro. Like, seriously, like...
This is the worst communication attempt ever.
No, but like just how the calls interact, it's even worse than Zoom. Like you know what I mean? So like you gotta like just let like a beat happen after they finish speaking, and then be like, okay, he stopped speaking, then I'll speak. So Panjo,
okay, word.
Eli's ready for you to say what you gotta say.
Eli just said that he's not jealous and that he's not insecure. Yet he just ended that whole statement with, you go ahead and make a show with Josh. And talking about how I'm trying to sabotage his show. No. What I'm not going to do is support somebody that's on a show, because I was supporting before, but now that I know that Josh is not just doing Stuck in the Middle, that's not the only podcast he's doing, I can now support his other podcasts. And I don't have to support a podcast with somebody who's going to talk about me like I'm a fucking 13-year-old. That's going to talk shit about me and not have enough balls to just contact me personally, and has never contacted me personally, has always gone through Josh or through the show. I have always been the one to reach out to him, to have a conversation with him man to man. So now that we're going to have this man-to-man conversation on Stuck in the Middle, and it will be my last time that I'm on Stuck in the Middle. Not that I'm anything great to be on it. I'm just making sure Eli understands that I don't want anything to do with him.
Panjo, may I ask you a question?
Yes.
If and when you come on Monday, Tuesday, you know, we figured this out because next week is a big guest week. We're trying to have some guests and stuff like that. But if you do come on and you guys do reach a sensible, hey,
I will be on.
I believe you, but my question goes further because you just made a definitive statement, and my question is, if at the end, like pretty much, do you still have any type of open mindedness to say, you know what, if whatever happens on Monday and or Tuesday goes well, I will recant me saying I'm never coming on Stuck in the Middle again? Because I do feel like this shit is getting misconstrued between you two via text, via the phone call. Like, I don't know what it is. I literally feel stuck in the middle between you two because, Panjo, I love you. Eli, I love you. I have respect for both of you. And I'm just like, I see this, like, I see, like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know what's not, and it happens. There are people who just don't click. But the reason why I brought up that idea that, you know, when I go up to New York and I hang out with my old best friend and like he has that guy that fills my role, it's just like I do feel like in general we butt heads with people who are just like us. And like most of the times when it's like, I always told Eli Panjo that if he was in a band, he'd be the lead singer. I've always told him this, like he would be the front man. Like that's the end. Like, and here are one legit frontman, Panjo, you know, speaking to I've been in a band. I'm not saying this is who he would be, but just judging by his personality. Like, you know, dude, you know a drummer when you see one, right, Panjo? Right? Right. You know a bass guitar, you know a guitarist when you see one. If Eli ever picked up the musical knack, that's the role his vibe would want to fill. You know what I mean? So what I see are more than anything are two like-minded people just kind of having a clash because they are so similar. And maybe I'm wrong, but
can I?
Yes,
sorry.
Please, go ahead.
I don't. If Eli has something to say, I don't know. But what I was going to say is, well, essentially that. You're absolutely right. Some people just don't click, and that's fine. What seems to be the issue is that, and dude, I will, if there's any, you know what, I will take full responsibility how I may come off online as maybe I'm a little too aggressive and maybe there's no context and maybe my tone of voice needs to be involved in it, but I'm assuming, oh, well, Eli knows me, so hopefully he's reading it the way that I would hope he would, and hopefully, you know, I assume Josh reads my messages the same way, you know, I would read them. So
but I know you.
You know
what I mean? Like,
right,
you
exactly.
and I, like, lived in, like, hotels and vans for months at a time.
But also, you know, Josh, but here's the thing, what I'm saying, Eli only sees what he wants to see because he doesn't read the text while I write right underneath, you know, God, I can't stand Eli, but I'll still masturbate to pictures of him. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, just being, I'll say how much I love the yin and yang. I'll say, Eli is so dramatic and Josh is so whatever. I love the yin and yang. Like,
right.
But he's only seeing the things to where it's he feels like he's being attacked. And that's a very narcissistic trait.
Eli, go ahead, man.
So for me, this goes back, I think, like almost, and correct me if I'm wrong, like literally 2 years. Hence the reason why I didn't know Benson Brody all this time was Panjo, regardless of the times that him and I had apparently had conversations where he was tolerating me being nice, but it has been, in truth, always him busting my balls, and I never saw anything but him busting my balls, speaking negatively about my presence online, whether I be solo or if it was just you, Josh. I remember his comments like, I so prefer when it's just you, Josh. Like, I've seen that. So what else am I to infer when all I see is negativity about me? But when we're in person, it's almost like none of that ever happened. So that is just crazy for me to deal with. I don't know how to respond.
Okay.
So if it's just ball busting, then you're very committed to it.
There is, if I can say real quick, and Pandra, I know you want to say something because I heard you just chime in, but like there is this thing that Eli, I will agree with you that like if a lot of the if the ball busting happens a lot of times online and I don't have a full read of somebody, I will possibly take it the wrong way until them and I have maybe a more in-person conversation where I understand, oh, man, they're fucking sarcastic all the time. Or, oh, man, they love being facetious. They love, they have this personality. You know what I mean? So, like, I get what you're saying.
And don't you think, if that's the case, somebody would say, hey, buddy, right? Hey, buddy, are you being serious? Or is this like, are you kidding? And if you still had a problem, you would say, hey, buddy, I don't like it. If you're going to keep doing it, don't be in my room or, whatever. But that's never been the way it's been approached.
Josh.
You guys just have this thing that I hope maybe we can figure out on Monday or Tuesday. Eli, go ahead, man. Sorry.
Josh, do you remember how recent it was when I was shocked? Remember you said we were going to have a mystery guest or something like that, and when you told me Benson Brody was Panjo, I was literally shocked and beside myself because all this time I didn't know. So then it's like only recently all of this finally came together. I'm like, holy shit, this is the guy who's been always throwing shade at me, And then I'm like, wow, but I've seen him. We've been in person. I always thought we were pleasant in person. Always thought he was a sweetheart, to be honest. Then I learned he's got this dick side of busting my balls on only. I didn't have time to be like, oh my God, I have to reach out because I didn't even fucking know.
Let's go back on the episodes and see how many times I busted your balls in person. Then let's all see how everybody in that room knew I was Benson Brody except you. It was a joke.
Nowhere near the level you do it online, buddy.
What was that?
He said nowhere near the level you do it online. If I could read a quote real quick, Pandra, before you respond. Bert Gummer Live says, I've had people say that I'm too mean in the chat plenty of times. I bet not as many as V, though. So, there are, like Eli, you do understand that there is a vibe. Whether it was communicated properly or not is a different story. But at the end of the day, just the idea of like busting balls and giving people a hard time, it doesn't always have to be mean-spirited, right? Like but you're kind of, you don't have the full picture of where this busting balls and shit is coming from, right? Is this?
Yeah, remember just not how long ago it was that I discovered it was him. Remember, I was like, dude, I don't want to have to go there and like fight somebody because I was like tripping about who it could have been. And then you told me, oh, it's Benson Brody, man. It's who's Panjo. That was not that long ago. So then I only recently have been able to associate that all this time Panjo's been throwing shade at me for 2 years. And I got to connect all of that to recently. And everything he's ever done in person was never offensive or shitty.
Right. So
Eli,
he trolled me.
Right there.
But when you think of that, Eli,
tell Eli to stop himself right there because now he's saying it's 2 years. Bro, this is maybe a month long. Give me a break.
But even that, the idea that when he found out you were Benson Brody, like, and you were cool in person, but giving him shit online.
Josh, you can't negate the fact that the man said 2 years when it was only maybe at most a month. You understand
Bullshit.
how he's blowing this out of proportion. That's
bullshit.
a problem.
1 month bullshit.
Listen, when we come on Monday, can we bring receipts?
I don't know the exact timeline, but it's not 2 years of what you're considering as harassment or busting balls or whatever.
1 year?
You're trying to paint another narrative, another picture, so that it will go along with your story, and that's fine because that's what you do. And
1 year.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
This is what I do, Panjo. You think I enjoy doing this, which is clearly where you don't know who I am. I don't give a fuck if you do or you think you do. You've said your piece. I've said my piece. We'll continue our conversation on Monday. This is a waste of time.
Talk your big game. Talk your big game, okay?
Talk the big game. Yeah, keep your energy in person, homie.
Excuse me?
Keep your big boy energy in person instead of this fucking trolling bullshit you like to hide behind. That's all I ask. Be fucking
Eli, you really like to act tough, don't you?
Can't hear shit, so it doesn't matter.
One more time. Let's not speak over each other. We know the delay. Panjo?
Eli really likes to try to look tough. And he likes
trying to look tough.
Very
this is how I am, man. Call it what you will.
Eli,
paint the picture you want to paint.
Try to let Panjo finish. I know it's kind of frustrating.
So here I thought we were not talking over each other.
Panjo, no cheap shots. I just told him not to do it. So just go on with like the original vibe.
I didn't mean to call him beta. I mean, he's trying to act very, very alpha, very whatever. I'm not into this. This is not why. I will come on the show. We will hash it out in person. We will get everything we need to get out, and that will be that. Eli, and that will be that.
Okay. But you're still open-minded if at the very least, Panjo, that if it goes good, you're like, okay, maybe I won't be, I won't, you know what I mean? Like, do you still have any type of percentage in you that says Eli, in your mind, he can be, you can kind of have a new appreciation for him? I know you guys are at odds end, but do you still have that part left open in your mind to allow that to happen? Because nobody likes anybody being completely shut off.
What did I say before Eli called in? I said I've never taken away any of the hard work he's put in, any of the busting his ass that he's done for the podcast, for his life, for his job. He's come a long way. Never take that away from him, ever. Do I have a problem with some of the things he does, some of the ways he acts, some of the way he portrays himself, some of the way he handle some of his shit? Yeah. But, I mean, who am I to judge? All I can only do is live my life, give my opinion on things, and move on. And if Eli, and again, this isn't the first time, tried to have this, what he calls big boy energy with him before.
Yo.
But it never works out.
You just remind me of something,
out.
Eli. Like, listen to me.
Yo.
There was a time, I remember in like 2008, 2009, when I had Mean Panjo on my side. Like I think it was my mom or somebody else. Like people had everyone get together and like kind of give me like an intervention. And I remember just straightforward Panjo. I'm not saying this was going on. I'm just saying like I've been on this end to where like we've been at like butting heads, and he was like, "Listen, you're cool and all, but when you do this, you're a dick." And I was like, "What the fuck?" I just, what I'm trying to say, Eli, is without that comparison in mind, the idea of being on the reciprocating end of serious Panjo, you're like, fuck, you know. Well, like, what the fuck did I do wrong? I'm trying to, you know, like, figure this out. You know, it's is not, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel for you. This is probably a horrible comparison, but I had a flashback and I felt like speaking out loud and I embarrassed myself. I'm sorry.
I'm interested. Oh, sorry, I hear him speaking.
Let Eli speak real quick because I think, Pandro, you just finished speaking?
Absolutely.
Okay, Eli, go ahead, my friend.
I am interested since I find it pretty incredible that he said just 1 month he's been throwing shade. I'm going to go as far back as I can because I'm pretty damn sure, if not a year, 6 months, okay, like at the most that this kid has been throwing shade, negative shots, and then when I'm not with you, telling you how glorious you are solo, and I didn't know it was him. So I'll do my parts, but aside from that, man, like I do feel this has gone as far as it can. Clearly, we have to find who the alpha Jew is. Let's just have the talk on Monday, and then just fucking move on with our lives, whether it be for better or we end up beefing and never speak again. Whatever the case, at least this will be over. So good night. I have to go now.
Okay,
Thank you for your time, everybody. Including you, Banjo.
Eli, real quick. You understand Monday is Memorial Day. Are you still okay with doing a show? I am. Panjo, are you okay doing a show on Monday, Memorial Day, like 10:30?
Absolutely.
Okay, Eli, are you okay?
Can we start it?
There's no way I'm missing this opportunity.
Panjo, what'd you say?
I said, can we start it at 10? Would that be okay?
Yeah. I mean, like, okay, so I'll be honest with you.
We're
our
off.
Tuesday and Thursday show, we've had to start at 11 p.m. just because of Eli's schedule. So we've been trying to push Monday a little later. So if you can bear with us and maybe start at 10:30, no problem. But if the only way we can have Panjo on is to start at 10, we will do that. I promise you. Okay.
We'll make it work.
Okay, so you and I will talk. Eli and I will talk. But are we all on together? We'll let Eli hop off. Are we all on together for Monday at 10 p.m. at the very least?
Done deal. This has to happen already.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Eli, thank you, brother. Okay, Eli's off, man. Okay, so Panjo, you yourself, you're on?
I'm still on, but I need... Eli needs not to fucking refer to me as a kid. The fuck.
I'm gonna be doing my best to be the mitigator. I'll be like right now. I was gonna literally. I'm not lying to you. That came in my head. I was like, man, maybe you shouldn't have said that. You don't gotta call him a kid like that.
I just.
But he's not trying to be disrespectful.
Like sometimes
him
and that I'm.
Sometimes he calls me baby boy. He's like, okay, baby boy. This is what we're gonna do, baby boy. You know, he's just like you know. It's his vocabulary. It's not necessarily to belittle you. You know what I mean? So just keep that in the back of your mind. That's all.
But Josh,
yes,
he also was belittling me beforehand.
Okay,
you see what I'm saying? Like it
You're
was
not
following the pattern. But anyway, it all be handled.
We're using context clues, so I agree with you. Like you know. I could say that, but because you incorporate everything else he said, you're like, no, you're wrong. He's belittling me. So I feel like...
Oh, no. That wasn't... No, that's not what I meant at all.
Oh.
But, yeah, I don't know why I'm bringing this up. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
That's also what it is, too, dude. I'm high as shit. You're high as shit. We're all high as shit. We're having a great time, right? We're trying to have a good time.
I think I smoked like 2 joints, took like 4 dabs while talking to you. This is...
Dude, I took sneaky dabs, too. I was like... Try to wait. What'd you say? Go ahead.
Honestly, I forgot we were on a podcast for a second. I thought we were just on a fucking, you know what? Call like we're middle school.
That to me is a fucking compliment, and that's what I want to hear more often. You forgot you're on a show. That's what I want to hear. That's the fucking winner chicken dinner of this whole episode. So thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
Because this episode started out kind of rough. I'm not gonna lie. It was just like I was so discombobulated at the beginning. Just like it was just like I had too many of a jumping off point to try to it just I knew that by the middle everything would come together, and I was like the beginning's just gonna suck, and that's fine. I'm cool with it. And you and Eli brought this all together with a nice bow, and we will package that bow and open that present on Monday.
Can I leave you with one suggestion?
Please.
I say to have this as show -0 or 0, and then have a reel for a show for your IDK podcast.
Yes.
Just an idea.
This is just kind of like a so this is on Stuck in the Middle's channel. If you go in the description, you'll see the part where it says, so Eli decided to debut my channel, so I guess here's my link. So you find that part. There's my link. You can join up. I'm not gonna lie, if you watched Mornings at Night and were subscribed, I took over that channel. So that's the channel. So you're probably subscribed to it already.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. But Panjo, thank you so much. I look forward to having you on again on my channel. I look forward to having you on Monday. We're all good for Monday. We're going to make this shit happen.
Stone sober, bro. I'm gonna come there locked and loaded.
Hot damn it.
I shouldn't say that, should I?
No,
Eli
no.
has a gun. I was it's a phrase. I don't have a gun, Eli.
Yeah,
Don't bring a gun.
You got to be careful. Eli's known
Yeah.
to accidentally pop off a shot or two. So
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah. Wrong phrase.
Yeah.
Wrong phrase.
Seriously.
All right.
Panjo, thank you so much, brother. And we will talk to you after this weekend is up. We'll see you on Monday, my friend, in studio.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we're going to hold you to it. Son of a bitch. This is why I was very hesitant to do the show tonight, not because of anything else, but like, how's it going to translate? And, God bless Eli and Panjo for just like, what a great debut show. Burt Gummer says, oh shit, son. He was also like, what did I miss in the last 5 minutes? A lot. You missed a lot in the last 5 minutes. If you watch the first 5 minutes, so much better when you watch the last 5 minutes. I promise you that. So the IDK show, we're not always going to be drama-based. Last time I broke down an Eli video, it was under the Stuck in the Middle banner, but that's only because there was no other. I was like, this is it. This is the only show. This is all I want to do. And like, oh, you're not going to come on Tuesday, so I'll just do a show myself Tuesday and call you out. So it's different now. So please, in the description, everybody, please sub to Eli's solo channel, Progressive Patriot. He's a natural ranter. Even I will be like, I'll wake up in the morning like, ooh, what did Eli say today? And I'll sit there and I'll just I'll be taking a shit. I'll be brushing my teeth. It doesn't matter. I'll listen to what he says. Like, as a friend, regardless, he captivates. Like, oh, cool. I'll listen to this. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm just interested. He tried something. He's like, well, I'm gonna read information in real time. Like, meh, don't do that. Don't do that. You when you did the second part and you were kind of like just going like off the cuff and just talking in real time, like that shit's interesting. Like, even you talking shit about me, I was like, I'm captivated. Fuck, I can't turn off. I was like, after that, 8 minutes and 30 seconds wore off and you started to go on a different topic, even though the title was titled something about calling out Josh, I was like, what's he gonna say next? And you came to a nice conclusion, but you did get off topic. But whatever, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the IDK show. So thank you for watching the first episode of many. It won't always. Oh shit! Well, we're going. We got another call.
Take your lunch.
Yeah, come in. Just come in.
Is this Ricardo?
Man, what is going on, man? It's like Days of Our Lives with Bold and the Beautiful, man. What's happening?
As the sand passes through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. You got it right, Ricardo. Come on.
George, how you going, man? How's things?
Man, it's so good to hear from you, man. Like every time I do hear from you, like it's always like this breath of fresh air, like, to hear somebody on the other side of the world, just laughing at something, enjoying something, living, breathing, alive. I'm like, shit's okay. So when you call in, Ricardo, I feel so much better about things in general, and I really hope you kind of feel the same vibe when you hear us talking about bullshit. So
yeah, man, yeah, it's good. I mean, enjoying the content and what you guys do, and I'm just getting over the old Fauci ouchie, myself and my partner. So I've been sick for the last couple of weeks, but heading in the right direction, mate. And just thought I'll drop a line, mate, say hello, and yeah, just things are okay over here. We just had elections over here, so the new president of Australia, so we kicked the other one out, and
is that a good thing?
Can start to get better.
Is that a good thing? Are you guys glad you got that president out? And like also two-part question: is that a good thing? And how often do you guys have elections? Is it every 4 years? Every 8 years?
Yeah, every 4 years. So our election was supposed to be in November, but they pushed it early. Which they can do that. They can push it early, call it early. Yeah, look, Scott Morrison was the former leader of the country. I think a lot of people were pretty disappointed what happened during the old, Cody period. And also, there's a couple of videos that, Australian people saw with the what do you call it, the World Economic Forum with Klaus Schwab. Him kissing that guy's ass left, right and centre. Didn't go down well with the Australian public. So, yeah, and the guy's in now. His name's Albanese. I'll have to wait and see, mate, because they like to spend money the other side, the other party. So we'll see how much money he's going to be spending now. But, yeah, mate, we just have to hope and wait and see.
Do you feel better that this president is in? Like, do you have more optimism? Like, does it give the country a little more hope, or is it kind of like in the opposite way? You know what I mean? Like, we don't know in America like that president. So, what's the vibe?
Yeah, the vibe is this. I think we're just waiting to see, because now China's put a message out, peace pipe with our new leader. So it'll be interesting to see, because the former leader wanted inquiries into a lot of things that, what happened during that period. And I think Australian people just wait and see, because we're seeing that there's a lot of, with the price of food and stuff going up, Josh, like you guys are copying over there. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to try and do. But look, at the end of the day, the former leader was getting a little bit too arrogant. So, yeah.
How's is gas and food going up over there as well?
Yeah, so fuel is $2.10 a litre.
So how many liters in a gallon?
4.5 in a gallon, or litres in a gallon. So you guys are still paying pretty cheap rates. We're paying a lot. And diesel's like $2.40 a litre for 1 litre. So for trucks, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
A lot of money, man.
What's crazy is like diesel is supposed to be like a dirtier gas than like regular 87.
Cheaper to refine. Cheaper to refine, Josh.
Right.
Yeah, man.
And diesel's more expensive. But it's interesting, and like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've been over to it's not Australia, but I've been over to England twice. I think it was once in like 98 and the other time in 2000. But even then, they, per gallon, England was paying more. Like Europe was paying more than what we were paying over here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely, man. 100%. They pay even more. And they've got smaller vehicles as well. When you think about it, they've got more 4-cylinder vehicles. And like Australia, like America, we like our V8s and stuff like that. And yeah, man, it's just
fuck, you're right.
It's ridiculous, Josh. And especially with electric vehicles, when you tell people, like I had a discussion with a friend of mine, he bought a hybrid vehicle, and I told him the amount of water and costing of to produce a electric vehicle, does more damage probably to the environment than a fuel car. You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't make sense. But look,
right.
Let's hope things change, man. But
so you guys are where, like, per liter? You're at $2 per liter. So we're talking about like almost like $8 per gallon.
I reckon we'll be around just under $10 a gallon.
But like, okay, so So put it into like, bring it down for a little bit of us, stupid Americans. Like, how much were you paying before that? Like right now you're about $10, but before all this shit kicked off, were you at about like $5, $6? Like, how much has it gone up?
5 or 6. Yeah, you're right. That's about right. Yep, that's how much we're paying.
That's still fucking, dude. It's a lot, but a lot of people don't understand that. Even before this happened, you all were paying like close to $5 a gallon already. Like, people didn't understand that.
Yeah, and it's amazing how the so-called leader there turned off the lines there, your own fuel lines there. So it baffles me, mate, because why are they buying it from other countries? And it just doesn't make sense, doesn't it, Josh? I mean, they're people that are stupid and. Yeah, man, but at the end of the day, mate, you got to just keep going and hopefully things will change, man. I think that it will in time, but I think there's a lot more shit to come before it gets better.
How are you feeling with everything? How is your, you don't got to get personal if you don't want to, but just in general, like, are you adjusting? Is your family adjusting to what's going on at the very least?
We are. Yeah, we are, Josh. We're now more... when we buy food, what we do, where we go now, and just in general, because things are going up, electricity bills, gas, fuel, everything, like everywhere else. It's, dude,
I'm leaving. You
got to do what you have to do, Josh. Yeah.
I'm out of the cities, bro. I'm moving within the next month or two. I'm moving up to, not the boondocks, but I'm getting out of the city. I'm going up a little more north in Florida. A little more, about 5 hours more north in Florida, where we're, we're like, like down here, you have to go to a rich neighborhood to see like people with like acres, like at least 1 acre of land. Where like up north in Florida, 5 hours, you're like, you could be still in like the poorest of counties and people still got like an acre or 2 of land. You know what I mean? So like, we're moving that way, but it seems to be like, the better of the two situations, just because like, in the cities, it's getting too heated, man. I don't know how are you?
Same as you, Josh. We're not far from the main city here. We're just 10, 15 minutes away. I live behind a major hospital just outside the city. Man, Josh, you can see it in people's faces, what's going on, what's happening at night time. People are losing it. That's the honest truth, man. And so we're thinking about, obviously, in time, moving out to more of a country area, rural area. And, man, it's the same thing here, man. It's the same thing happening now.
Do you feel like, sometimes, we all go through vibes where we're like, oh shit, maybe we should buy this stock or maybe we should invest in this, but those are fleeting moments. Right now, there's this vibe in America, in Australia, as you're saying, we're like, oh shit, we should maybe buy outside of the city. Do you feel as if that's going to be like a more beneficial thing? You know what I mean? Like, is that a more like, sometimes we make plans that are unrealistic, but right now moving out of a city seems more realistic than ever. Do you feel that's the case?
It does. And you're right. You can't go wrong with land or buying property, especially in country areas, rural areas, I think the biggest thing that you need to be watching, which is happening here in Australia, is this share market, buying even crypto and all that. I don't trust it, Josh, to be honest with you, because that's all digitized. You don't know. They can turn a machine off. They can do anything these days with machines. And but I don't think you can go wrong with buying property, land, house, even gold or silver if you can afford it, stuff like that, because it's going to hold itself. And that's the way we think.
Right, like it's all the staples of kind of what has built countries in the past. Like, it's
100%.
It's literally like if the band Kiss was on tour everywhere. Keep it simple, stupid. Realty, gold, silver, everything else, fuck off. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it. It's a gamble. Everything else is a gamble. I mean, just look at, was it Twitter the other day? I was reading about the stock value and stuff, how much it dropped with Musk, what he did. And, man, it's very volatile, isn't it? And you don't know what's going to happen with the US dollar because you're pumping so much currency and, you know, the value's diminishing. So you pretty much go back to what's been known for centuries, which is gold, silver, and, land and having a house and stuff. Man, you can't go wrong.
Just to put like a nice little bow on what you're saying, like the shit that just happened. The shit that just happened at the school shooting. Some dude or woman just decided to shell out an anonymous $175,000, and believe it or not, $175,000 is going to pay for the 19 children's caskets. It's going to pay for the 2 adults caskets. But like my point is, you look at where America is spending the money. We give Ukraine $40 billion, and yet $175,000 can sponsor. Not only is it wrong, but that the money is being not allocated properly. Because if you can tell me you can bury somebody for $175,000, to me, you double or triple that, and you tell me you can save the same amount of people for $1 million. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and fucking do that. You know, this is the only thing in time.
It's not about the guns. It's not about the guns, man. Honestly, have a look at what it is deeper. Yeah, you can go into it. You can talk so much about it, but man, I just don't understand how you can give $40 billion to the second or third most corrupt country in the whole world, man. That doesn't make sense to me, man.
Dude, I like at first, like this wasn't an original thought. So I'm not going to credit this as my original thought. But at first, I saw somebody post this. I was like, yeah, whatever. Over time, I started to realize, like, holy shit, dude. I'm literally seeing people on both sides of the fucking coin, on both sides of the broken bird, left and right, coming together. America hasn't come together like this since like 9/11. Since we had like right now, I've seen people on the left and right being like, what the fuck were those cops doing? Dude, I've seen people on the right personal message me and saying those cops were cowards. A man becoming a police officer who's never once told me that shooting an unarmed civilian or anything of that nature was a coward, but they come to me and they say, those motherfuckers who didn't rush into that building, they were cowards. They didn't even care about what orders were given, anything of that nature. They just saw something so natural, so fucking like, this is what I would do. Like, there was no question. We would just go in. There was 19 of us. There was 21 of us. Why didn't one of us go in? Like, I'm starting to see a unity that I've never experienced again since 2001, since September.
Man, I just all I can say, Josh, man. You know, to those families and to America, you know, you guys are always in my prayers and my thoughts, man. It's just, man, it's just, there's so much going on in the world, especially in your country too, man. The sooner that things get fixed, it can't come quick enough, because I've always said this, I've always, as a young kid as well, admired America, you know, always America, big on everything, wise America, you know, so, you know, everyone looks up to America, but now I understand more than ever why. Because, you know, when you lose freedom of speech and the ability to say things on your mind, you know, and have it all controlled, and that's when you know you're in shit. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to suppress everything these days. So, yeah, Josh, man, just really hope that you guys can, you know, America can get it together. To be honest with you. So, yeah, man, but.
Ricardo, we appreciate the optimism. I appreciate the empathy. I appreciate the sympathy, because, like, I know, like, you know, you all went through a similar thing, and, you know, you guys had some type of shooting that occurred, and you guys, you know what, fuck it, we're banning this, you know, we're getting rid of this. And whether that was the right decision or the wrong decision, you guys came together and were like, we can't have this happen again. And the idea behind that was the right sentiment, but as
it's the motives, Josh. It's the motives of what the government's trying to do. So all those guns that got handed back were pumps and semi-automatics, but all the rest of the guns we're still allowed to have it. So there's 4.5 million Australians that have got guns there, registered gun owners, right?
Right.
So that in itself, yeah, I understand that, but we can't lose it all. Like, you can't lose your right to have a gun too. It's got to be constitution, yeah? When you start to, the government's trying to take that away, you know they've got some other agenda.
Yeah.
So you guys are aware of that. And all I can say is, you know, hold the line and keep faith, and then, you know, things will eventually, hopefully, fix itself.
I need more people in America to think like you, Ricardo. I need more people in America to have the idea that, listen, you got to hold tight. You got to hold tight to you know what is the right thing, because you're going to get tested on it. You know, like, you know, it's crazy. It's almost, I'm not religious, okay? But it's almost in the way of being religious. You got to get through this bullshit where people are going to test you and tell you what you think is wrong. You know what I mean? You got to, nope, I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have it. And then you come through on the other side and you be like, guess what? The thing that I've held here's my major point. Faith, you don't need, whether you need it or you don't need it, faith doesn't require a religion. Faith can require your just, this is what I'm putting my energy in. And I have nothing against faith when it comes to religion. Please don't get me wrong. But I'm saying, I'm trying to unify everybody and just say, just having faith in something, like, you know, the power of positive thinking and stuff like that, like, it goes a long way. And when people think like, oh, we're down and out, shit can happen to that mentality. But when people know everyone's down and out, but they're like, nope, that's not what's going to get us, that mentality has a bigger effect than anything else.
You know what it is, Josh? It's one word. It's called fear. When government and these oligarchies are trying to implement fear into us, then you know that's the problem. So faith, and hold it, and strength in unity, strength in what you're doing in your community, your family, and your friends, man, because that's what they're trying to do, man. They're trying to implement fear into all of us, and it's not working, because people are waking up slowly, but they are waking up.
And you know what fear stands for?
Tell me.
False entities appearing real. That's what fear stands for. False entities appearing real. We have fear in things that aren't necessarily what's going to be true. It's more a fear of things of what could be. And in the same way, we can, you know, give this energy into what couldn't be. We could switch that vibe and give energy into what could be. You know what I mean? Like you can literally manifest something with fear. So why not use that same type of energy and manifest something with, you know, whatever the fucking opposite of fear is? Happiness? I don't fucking know. What the fuck is that called?
You know what, man? Josh, man, as long as that eagle flies, man, and it flies and it's in the air and it's free, man, we're all free. It's when it's encaged, that's when it's the problem, man. So all I gotta say is, man, it's always a pleasure talking to you, man, and pass my hello to everyone, to Eli and that, man, and just keep going, man. You're doing a good job, man. So yeah, I just thought I'd give you a chat, you know, call and say hello, and yeah, bro, take care, man.
Thank you, Ricardo. Brother, man, we love you. We hope everything's okay over there, and please, 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 please never stop calling in, please, okay?
No worries, man. Take care, Josh.
All right, Ricardo. Man, dude, if you ever want to hear from anybody when you do a show, it's somebody like that. You know, somebody who really doesn't have any fucking rhyme or reason to agree with you, has you know, there's no reason to call in and talk to you other than like, hey, we're on the same page. We can be optimistic. We can make things happen. So, you know, Ricardo, love you always and forever. Fucking awesome person out there. Progressive Patriot, I believe he's still here. He's plugging his channel. He's plugging my channel. Technolificer says, that's a moral compass, Josh. Fair in your own convictions. That's all the Bible really teaches. Everything else is zealotry. Progressive Patriot says, bravery. You know, bravery. Bravery simply defined as sticking true to what you believe. To me, that's what bravery is. Bravery is just as that. Bravery is, you know what? Maybe I don't agree with what you're saying, but I have the fortitude to keep my opinion afoot, to keep going with what I believe. That's bravery. And Ricardo exemplifies bravery, and he exemplifies optimism. You couldn't ask for anything better than, you know, like you couldn't ask for any better friend, family, brother, or anything like that to call in and you know, just have that type of view, because we're here in America, you know. You hear somebody calling literally across the sea, across the pond, and like, oh shit, you're going through what I'm going through, but you're as optimistic as I'm optimistic, and you keep me moving forward, I keep you moving forward. Like, there's something beautiful about that. You know, we've gone through the Great Depression in the 1920s. We've gone through things like this before. How do you think people got through these times? Is being friends, being brothers, being sisters, being family to one another, understanding that we're all going through this. And even more so right now in 2022, because this shit is global. Everybody's feeling the effect of this garbage, you know? And if you're fucking positive over there, I'm fucking positive over here. If I can do it, you can do it. If you can do it, I can do it. And that gives me hope. That gives me hope for all the little ones. That gives me hope for all the old ones. That gives me hope for all the people like me. That gives me hope for all the people like you out there. The human species, whether it be via religion, whether it be science, we have persevered. We have gone through many of atrocity, many of adversity, many of just like resistance in general. But we find a way to persevere. And that's with monkeypox. You get monkeypox, we will keep spreading that shit everywhere. Thank you, Progressive Pay. You ruined my vibe. I saw that and I couldn't help but comment that. So, you know, I think, shit, man. I think I started the shit like, I think I've been going on a little too long. Let me make sure. Not the way I wanted it to be. Is say, okay, by the way, IDK Show. Look in the description. You'll find the link to this show. Burt Gummer posted it. You'll find the link to the Progressive Patriot Show. Unfortunately, we do a bunch of drama. Beginning the Eli video, pulling on 91, but SN98, blah, blah, blah. Eli's video with a soundboard. You like that? Listen, I hope you know. I'm going to give you guys, everybody, the joke. My joke tonight, like, it took a long time, but I wanted to make a big deal, go back and forth, and then when I played Eli's video again, I was just going to play a boatload of soundboards over it because he didn't like it when I did it in the first place. So I was gonna be like, oh, you know, my bad. And then just a bunch of soundboards. So I did it. I hope you guys found. Yeah, exactly. LOL, this MFer. You got it. You fucking got me, guy. Okay. Let's see. 91 closing statements. I have it listed on there because I listed everything out. Listen, closing statements. I love each and every one of you. Even if you don't like what this is, even if you only choose to, watch Stuck at Night, even if you only choose to watch Progressive Patriot, the fact that you came here and hung out with me during this time, I appreciate it. And even then, look at that. I could only have fun when I had everybody else on the show. So I hope you understand that. I hope you see that. I hope you get my vibe of things, and I hope you enjoyed my vibe of things. And, with that said, I think I done did it. So the first and ever IDK show I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. There you go. IDK Show. Didn't mean to start out with drama. Didn't want to start out with drama with the new show, but we did. So there you go. I don't know. Don't know what's going to happen from here, but what I do know is probably nothing. So, thank you. Thank you, Panjo. Thank you, Eli. Oh, I'm forgetting somebody. Thank you, Bert. Shit, who just called? Thank you, Ricardo. Bert, Panjo, Ricardo, Eli. I think that's all who really communicated. Everyone else in the chat, I love you all. I'm not the chat guy, so I got to learn how to do that on my own show. I usually left that for Eli, but you know, Eli and I are tiffing right now. So, Carscar, Technolificer, Veritas, Sexy Ducks. By the way, change your name. Don't like that. Not a fan. Let's see what else we got. I just want to make sure I get everybody. Progressive Patriot. I got you. I got Shamrock. Shit, man. All you people, I appreciate you. Welcome to the show. In the description, find my new channel. Find Eli's Progressive Patriot channel. Watch the episode I did almost a year ago when I called out Eli a year ago. Everything is there. Check the description. Until then, we will see you Monday. Okay? Bye. Wait, bye. Thank you.